world, it's Susanna D'Angelo here. This is my first YouTube video, but I'm really excited to be here. A little bit about me. I am a 24-year-old wedding photographer. I live in Utah currently, and I'm from the East San Francisco Bay area. I've been shooting since about 2011, but picking things up a little more professionally over the last 2 to 3 years or so. And I'm here to actually review a really exciting online workshop called Film is Not Dead in a Box, or Find in a Box. I believe these workshops have been going on for 8 years, and they've been put on by someone who I super admire and I've been following since about 2011. His name is Jonathan Canlas, and he was primarily a wedding photographer, and he shoots all film, strictly film. He's tried shooting digital and just doesn't like it, which is fine because his film work is incredible. The original Film is Not Dead workshops were 3-day intensive workshops. I personally wasn't able to go to any of these workshops. I really wanted to go, but I just couldn't afford it at the time. And sadly, the workshops ended early last year. Find in a Box is not actually in a box, just so you know. It's completely online and all the content can be downloaded in a zip file. It contains 8 PDFs, and these aren't small, folks. I mean, there's a lot to them. A lot of videos, at least 6 videos explaining how Jonathan meters different film stocks, showing you exactly how he's metering with his handheld light meter. There's 2 videos of Jonathan shooting families. One of the videos, he did have some technical issues where his mic wasn't working, so it is just him narrating over the video, which isn't quite as nice as how the second video is, where it does have him narrating as well as him actually interacting and talking with the client. So I know that's something we all want to know. We want to know how he shoots the way he does. I also want to mention that with the family session videos, he also includes separate videos where he goes through each of those sessions, and it's capturing his computer screen, and he culls them and edits them. That's also really useful information, seeing which photos he's getting rid of, which ones he's choosing to give to the client, and the impact that makes. So the top 3 things I found the most valuable about this online workshop. First is the film stocks PDF. This lesson was definitely the most valuable to me, coming from my background. I actually have a fine art degree in photography, so I did learn a lot about shooting film, but it was mostly black and white, 35 millimeter. We did do some 4x5, but my experience with color film was very limited. That was not something we learned in school. Jonathan knows his film stocks like nobody else. This is mainly because he shoots prolifically, almost like a Gary Winogrand or Vivian Meyer, just like all day, every day with the camera shooting. Maybe not quite as much as Gary Winogrand, but a lot. So he knows his stuff. He knows exactly how many of these film stocks behave in almost any situation. What they do when they're pushed, what they do when they're pulled. He's experimented with a lot of things and realized what you can do to get this look. What Ektar looks like when it's pushed to stops, which is super awesome. So I found that part the most valuable to me, where I'm at. Number two, the metering videos were super helpful. I don't have as much experience using a handheld meter. I'm usually using the meter in my camera, especially for digital work. I've had a handheld meter, it's a small, not a lot of bells and whistles, doesn't have a spot meter. And it's done fairly well for me, but seeing the way he meters with his light meter, it made a lot of sense why some of my exposures, I wasn't nailing them. Even though I was using my handheld meter, I was missing a lot of small details that were affecting my exposure. So number three, most valuable thing, these aren't in any particular order, by the way, but it's definitely gotta be the videos of John actually shooting. I followed John for a long time and have never been able to find any videos of him actually shooting. I don't know if he's like kept it this way on purpose, so that maybe because he knew this would be an eventuality, but I always wanted to like see him in action and see how he gets the images he gets as far as communicating with people, posing people, and then him actually shooting. The thing I found most surprising is that he literally is manually focusing every single camera, every shot, which to me is incredible, being as blind as I am. Even with my diopter, like, I wear glasses, I need contacts, it's stupid, but I absolutely am astonished by his hit rate. 95% of his shots are in focus, and you see that after looking at the family shots, the family session when he's editing and culling them. He does throw away the blurry ones. Of course there's gonna be blurry ones. He's shooting kids with a Rolly waist level finder, he's chasing them, manually focusing. Being a primarily digital shooter using very advanced autofocus systems, like that is just so over my head and beyond me, but it's because he shoots so much and has so much experience, and he's been shooting that way for so long, he can do it. So that was really exciting to me, knowing that if I work hard and I practice, I could have those same amazing skills. So I actually have a number four most valuable thing about the workshop, and that's definitely the Facebook group. Once you buy the online workshop, you are added to a closed Facebook group only for members of the workshop. I've been able to ask John questions personally, and he's been getting back to everyone beautifully. Over the last 3 days, I bought this on the day that it came out, March 1st, it's now March 3rd, and I finished the workshop, at least going through all the material. I still feel like I'm in a workshop because I'm constantly getting these Facebook updates, people asking really great questions that I've had, me getting my questions answered, and being able to kind of start a little bit of camaraderie between people that are in the group. So that is definitely very exciting and could be worth the bulk of the price, honestly. So I'll try to go through these quickly. These are the 3 things that I found less valuable or didn't add a lot of value. First of all, the Royal Rumble versus charts. They're these cute little charts with these illustrations of cameras, and he's pitted the 4 medium format SLRs against each other, and it kind of gives like a Pokemon card type, like these are their strengths, these are their weaknesses, and there's a winner, and they're kind of these cute little posters, but all the technical information of why he chooses certain cameras over others, it's all detailed in the gear PDF, which is very extensive, and I read that first, and then I just kind of was like, oh, that's cute, except one of the posters is like missing the picture, and then it says like Pentax 67, and it's actually a picture of a 645. Like, I don't know what happened there. Maybe like it just got screwed up and he hasn't noticed it yet. I should probably like tell him, but I don't want to be that awkward person that's like, you have a typo on page 3, 4, and 75. But there are some typos because it's the first release of all this info, and I'm sure that'll get fixed in future releases. So I'm not going very quickly, am I? The second part was the loading cameras video. There's a video where he's loading cameras, and honestly, that's something that you should just look in your manual for, unless you have like a super weird camera. But he kind of, I did find the Holga part informative, because I don't think there's probably a very good manual on Holgas, and his is all modified anyways, so that was useful information. I'm like trying to find something wrong with this, because I am really pleased with the workshop, I'll be honest. A third thing, the video production quality itself, it's shot on a digital SLR, like quality is good, but there were some technical issues. The uncut video, like the camera like goes up in the sky, so maybe they weren't planning on having the uncut video as part of the workshop initially, but it's not like a super high quality video production overall, and in my head I'm comparing it to like a Creative Live course. It's a little more down to earth and, you know, one-man show type thing, which is fine. It gets the job done, honestly, and I've been happy with it, but I just thought it might be good to mention. Find in a Box is priced right now at $4.99, so basically $500. This is the introductory pricing, and it will stay this way until March 10th. When I was first checking out, or I was looking at the pricing the day before, it was February 29th, and it had pricing in the checkout as $13.99 for the whole workshop. Going back to it now and trying to find what the non-introductory pricing will be, I'm not seeing it anywhere. So I'm not 100% that that's gonna be how much it costs after the 10th when it's not on sale, but it could be. That's a heads up, and a really great reason to go ahead and buy it now. According to the Facebook group, as of like an hour ago, John also mentioned that anytime there's a re-release, and he will be adding more material to the course as time goes on. Anyone who's bought the course and is in the group will all get the new material. So you might as well jump in now, and it seems like it's going to be the gift that just keeps on giving. So a caveat to that though, knowing the way John works, and having read his business guide, which is another guide I recommend, and I'll talk about it a little bit later, he prices things to sell very well on sale. So I believe he'll probably do a sale again, like when he adds new content. Just look out for a sale if you're not ready yet. I can't guarantee that, but given the history, there'll probably be another opportunity where it's marked down. I'm not sure if it'll be marked down this heavily, but there will be more sales in the future. Quickly, I also wanted to mention, he also mentioned on Facebook today that he will be adding closed captioning to all the videos, as well as he's working on recording audio versions of all the PDFs, which should be hilarious, because I'll just have to read you some of the things he says because you'll pee your pants. So in conclusion, is it worth it? I'm gonna have to say for me, it definitely was worth it. I have to admit that I have been following him for a long time and I've bought everything that he's put out. I love the way he writes. I love how knowledgeable he is, and I love his work, and I respect him as a person. Being a part of the Facebook group has been almost the most helpful out of everything, and it's only been a couple days. This workshop could change your life. As a quick review of his other products, there's the Film Is Not Dead book. That was the first thing he released. And then second was the Ohana Means Family Shooting Guide, as well as the Business Guide, and then the Find in a Box workshop. I have all of them. If you were thinking about any of the other guides, I would probably go for the Biz Guide and this workshop. If nothing, get the online workshop because it's definitely the most extensive. The Film Is Not Dead book is great, but it's a little out of date. John is not shooting with the cameras he says he's shooting, and a lot of the film stocks he was shooting back then have been discontinued. The game has changed. Hopefully he'll keep putting out really great material. I have a good feeling that this is not the end, but merely the beginning for sharing all the knowledge that he has gained and will gain in the future. I love the community that it's creating, and I'm really excited to get to share this with the world. Hopefully someone out there finds this review helpful. If you're on the fence about buying the workshop, you can know if maybe it's right for you. If you have any other questions, feel free to leave a comment below if a question's for me in particular. Definitely check out the website, filmisnotdead.com. I believe he may have changed the website to findinabox.com. So searching one of those, you'll find it. That's where you can actually buy the workshop. My website is susannadangelo.com, and there'll be links below. So I hope you enjoyed this video and have an awesome day.